Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
4 dead children, a mother in the murder, those children in cold blood.
I mean, why the kids, you know? It's not fair.
The 4 children were ages 4, 5, 17, and 19. They were all found dead inside a Dearborn Heights home. Jason Colthorpe is live in Southfield this afternoon, where one of the children went to school. But first, let's get to Rod Maloney. He is in Dearborn Heights, where police and Michigan State Police spent the night piecing together a gruesome crime. Rod, what have you found out about this case?
Well, Karen, it is just horrifying. They called it a domestic violence incident, and while correct, it doesn't even begin to cover precisely what happened here last night. And if you take a look here, the children of the neighborhood have been bringing teddy bears for the makeshift memorial on the front step of the house. But the neighbors are telling us here all of this is over the fact that divorce papers were filed yesterday. Faith Green survived the attempt on her life last night. Her children did not. 4-year-old Kaylee and 5-year-old Coy Green died inside this car parked in the driveway. Their father allegedly hooked up a hose, started the car, and ran the exhaust fumes inside. After the children were dead, we're told, he carried their dead bodies back into their bedrooms and into bed. Police found 17-year-old Kara Allen and her older brother, 19-year-old Chadney Allen, known as CJ, bound and shot execution style in the basement. They were Faith Harris's children from her first marriage. Dearborn Heights Police Captain Michael Petrie described the early morning scene that left first responders shaken to the core.
I made contact with the male suspect at the residence who stated that he had shot the members of his family that were inside the home.
Neighbor Michelle Carson was up when police arrived to arrest her neighbor, who had called 911 on himself. She called it an eerie scene.
Just like somebody that got pulled over in their car and put him under arrest. It was real calm.
Michelle says she is stunned, considering she knew the whole family well and resents being fooled by the father.
Now that I know more of him, he's not right, you know, but he seemed like he was a good dad and a loving father. He seemed like he was doing all the right things, you know. I guess there's 2 sides to every story. I always heard his, and I always heard him talk bad about her.
Faith Green is listed in stable condition at Beaumont Oakwood Hospital this afternoon. And I said earlier that the divorce papers were filed yesterday. That's not correct. They were filed a month ago, but they were served on the father here yesterday, we are told by neighbors. They also say in the neighborhood here that the family had only lived here with the father for about the last 9 months, that they had been away for quite some time and then moved in here, having first getting here in 2008 when the father had gotten out of prison on parole. Now, there's much more to that story, much more to this entire very sad scene. We're going to have more on that later on in Local 4 News at 5 and 6. But for now, Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Rod Maloney. Live in Dearborn Heights, Jason Colthorpe now joins us from Southfield, another community impacted by today's tragedy. I can't even imagine having this conversation with the kids that attended that school, Jason.
So many kids, Karen, are having a really rough day today. A lot of friends of Kara Allen and CJ Allen. CJ was a recent graduate of Southfield High School. Kara was a senior here, and before here, they were in the Farmington Hills School District, where Kara still has a lot of friends there. She has friends here, very popular, a fun girl, and today the news hit them very hard.
In the school, it's like it's awkwardly quiet, and it's just everybody's hearts are like very, very broken at this moment.
Kara was honestly like an angel sent on earth. Like, she was the sweetest person.
And she told me, she said we have to catch up sometime, and it hurts that we never get to catch up.
Those kids also had very favorable things to say about Kara and CJ's mom, who is still fighting for her life this evening, and they're just banding together and pulling through. We'll hear more from them coming up at 5, as well as what Southfield High School has to say about this awful, awful crime. We're live in Southfield. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Thank you, Jason. Local 4's coverage of this family tragedy continues with a live update at 5 on the investigation. I've also been looking into the criminal background of the suspect, including the wife's request for a personal protection order that was denied. My Defender's investigation on that part of the story tonight at 6. You can also find updates at clickondetroit.com, where we have posted the entire police news conference. Our coverage continues online and here on Local 4. It is a very busy news day. We're following breaking news on the city's east side, where one man has been shot and killed at an auto repair shop. This is happening on Mack Avenue near Chalmers. We're told there was a fight between the victim and two other men. Shots were fired and one man was killed. No other information is being released at this time. Breaking news also in Sterling Heights. A crash has Hall Road shut down near the Van Dyke Freeway. The crash involved several cars, and we're told Hall Road will be shut down for several hours. That is going to make it very difficult for that evening commute. No word on any injuries. A fallen police officer is being remembered right now by family, friends, and fellow officers. Sergeant Kenneth Stile died over the weekend from injuries suffered in a shooting. Local 4's Guy Gordon is at the visitation right now in Sterling Heights with so many heavy hearts. Guy.
Oh, you bet, Karen. We're really talking about two grieving families coming together, two very separate grieving families. The thought on Saturday that they were going to be welcoming this wounded officer home, and instead, as you say, he had complications and died. The first family, of course, his widow. She is here with the parish priest, Monsignor Bagarin, who has been ministering the family since this untimely death. And then we have the first responder family, and look what they've done here. Sterling Heights and Washington Township Fire Departments coming together to give this Sergeant Stile a high-altitude honor guard, if you will, and everybody coming here will pass under Old Glory as they go to pay the respects to the sergeant and his wife. Now, we've been asked by them to keep our distance, not approach any of the mourners, and of course we're honoring that request, but it has been a steady stream all afternoon. We do expect to see Chief James Craig here within the hour. We're told that he would be one of the early visitors. The backdrop to all of this, of course, is that this was an officer working out of the 9th Precinct who his specialty was pursuing criminals with guns. And that is what he was doing last week when he encountered, according to the prosecutor's office, Marquise Cromer, a 21-year-old man who was armed with a sawed-off shotgun. And as this officer turned the corner, Cromer was waiting for him with that shotgun and hit him with a blast in the underarm. We were at 2 court hearings today for Marquise Cromer, one to upgrade the murder charges, his arraignment on that, and also a probable cause hearing. He did not show up at either one of them. This is not unprecedented, but it certainly is bizarre, and we will be talking more about that at 5 o'clock, and also hear from a man who describes himself as a surrogate father, who says that this man has a troubled history, and that if it had been addressed, these 2 tragedies, and he calls them 2 tragedies, would not have happened. We're live from Sterling Heights. I'm Guy Gordon, Local 4. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Guy. Meantime, the suspect in Sergeant Stile's death, as you said, Guy, refused to leave his jail cell for the court hearing today. Marquise Cromer faces numerous charges, including first-degree murder. The judge waived his presence for today's arraignment and ordered a psych evaluation. The next court date is in December. All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something a little bit lighter and happier, and that would be fall starting tomorrow, even though it feels like summer, Ben.
Yeah, it is, and it will for the first full day of autumn tomorrow, or first partial day, I should say. But first on our 4 Live radar this afternoon, we did have those showers and storms roll through at least our north and part of our west zones. Those are out of here now and leaving behind at least some cooler temperatures in the areas impacted by the clouds and showers. Hanging on to 80 degrees here from Metro Airport down to the south, but everybody will be in the 80s come tomorrow, and what will probably be our warmest and most humid day of the forecast. Eventually, we will get back to normal over the weekend, but fall starts warm. We'll break it down for you in your 4-zone forecast, all coming up in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thank you, Ben. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines all across America. All eyes are on the CEO of the drug company Mylan over the high prices of the EpiPen. She just started testifying on Capitol Hill in the last half hour. Heather Bresch did not back down from some really tough questions. She's been under fire since it was revealed the cost of an EpiPen has increased more than 500% since 2007. She first just started testifying and launched into a defense of Mylan's prices.
I know there is considerable concern and skepticism about the pricing of EpiPens, and I think many people incorrectly assume that we make $600 off of each pen. It's simply not true.
Bresch is expected to talk about how her company has balanced the prices of the EpiPen with access. Her testimony continues. We'll have an update from Washington tonight at 5. Peaceful protests turned violent in Charlotte, North Carolina after police shoot and kill an African-American man. The shooting death of 43-year-old Keith Lamont Scott set off a night of protests and violence that left 16 officers injured, with demonstrators throwing rocks and blocking a highway. Today, investigators say they were looking for someone at an apartment complex when they say Scott got out of a car with a weapon and refused to drop it.
A weapon was seized, a handgun. I can also tell you we did not find a book that has been made reference to.
The officer who shot Scott was not wearing a body camera, but other uniformed officers were, the chief says. The video he's seen so far does not show everything that happened, and that state law is preventing him from releasing the video. Ahead first at 4, it is the Hollywood breakup that has the entire country talking. This afternoon, George Clooney reacting to the Brad Pitt-Angelina Jolie divorce. Also, Eminem honoring a filmmaking legend who was found dead at his home. See how the Detroit rapper is paying tribute to the director responsible for bringing 8 Mile to the big screen. Steve.
Saturday, the National Museum of African American History will open in Washington, and there is a strong Detroit connection.
Not just enormous pride, but great expectations and excitement, and can't wait.
Detroit's place in the museum and how and when you can visit. That's coming up.
Angelina.
Well, Ben is back. Lots of folks downtown walking around, grabbing coffee and having lunch, kind of soaking up those beautiful rays.
Gorgeous afternoon. Tomorrow, even warmer than what we saw today, believe it or not, and humid too. So it's going to feel more like the 4th of July than it will the start of autumn. But we still got some 80s out there this afternoon, even though clouds hanging around from some of those showers that were at least affecting parts of the area earlier today. Right at 80 at Metro Airport, the place that got impacted the most, 76 out in our west zone. And Howell, you saw at least a little bit of light rain there at the airport. But look at these dew points, low and even mid 60s out there. And these are only going to get higher as we get into the next 24 hours. So it's going to be noticeable humidity, nothing ridiculous. But when you start adding those 80-degree temperatures back into this humidity, it is not going to feel like the start of autumn tomorrow. Here's a look at the satellite image. So we've seen the rain take off. There's still a little bit of activity out here towards the west side and south parts of, or south of Chicago, I should say. But that should not impact our forecast. As we look at the map, again overnight, we're going to see these thunderstorms fire up across Wisconsin. The difference tonight going into early tomorrow is this area is going to split. One is going to stay well north of us. The other moves to the south. So we're keeping the forecast dry for Thursday. Eventually that boundary will start moving to the south. So by Friday morning, we could see a few sprinkles around, but that chance is not all that good. A lot of us are going to skate through the rest of the week with no rain at all. And then we go into the weekend and it does start to feel a little bit more like autumn. We get the humidity out of here and put temperatures back close to average for this time of year. Overnight lows tonight, 64 degrees, skies partly cloudy. And again, we're going to call the humidity noticeable. Light winds out of the south. Dew points go up a little bit tomorrow, and so do the temperatures. Metro zone in your 4-zone forecast, mid-80s tomorrow, and you tack on that humidity. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some heat index readings around 88, possibly up to 89 by tomorrow afternoon. In our south zone, similar numbers, mid-80s for high temperatures tomorrow. And in our west zone, where you got a little bit of a break today, not so much tomorrow, mid-80s all across the area. Flint, you'll be at 85, Ann Arbor 87, Canton at 86 tomorrow afternoon. And in our north zone, slightly cooler numbers, but I still think everybody's going to be in the 80s, even Lexington at 80 degrees. Some of our warmer numbers down here towards M59, Rochester Hills, you'll be at 86 tomorrow afternoon. Look at the 7-day forecast and how far these temperatures fall. We go from 85 tomorrow to high temperatures just barely getting to 70 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. Morning lows on Sunday morning in the city will barely be at 50, so expect to see a lot of 40-degree starts as we head into Sunday morning. So fall delayed, but showing up for the weekend, Karen.
Thank you, Ben. Well, new treasures of African American history will be honored at a new museum in Washington, D.C. The long-awaited Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture opens this weekend. And as Steve Garagiola reports, the museum includes a look into Detroit's past.
The museum has been more than a decade in the making, 400,000 square feet with 9 levels. There are a number of Detroit connections to this new gem on the mall in Washington.
There we go. All right.
One of those connections is Detroit-based Smith Group JJR, one of the 4 architects on the project. They've designed many of Detroit's architectural gems. The new Little Caesars headquarters, one of their current projects. There's enormous pride in being part of the team on the National Museum of African American History.
So to be a part of the newest opening of a major institution like this that ties into the culture of the country, really, I think it's a great honor and something we're all very proud of.
Part of the architect's job is to have the building tell the story.
The creation of the metal panels that form that scrim were inspired by the ironwork of enslaved iron workers back in the 1800s in New Orleans. And so the design of those panels weaves the American aspect of it with the African tradition aspect of it all into one.
Detroit will be very well represented among the 3,000 items on display.
One piece for sure we know will be on display. Shirley Burks, who is a local Detroiter, who's also a member of the Women's Committee here at the Charles H. Wright Museum, donated her grandfather's violin. And we know that it is part of the exhibitions and will be on display.
The museum opens up on Saturday. Admission is free, but you do need a ticket. And we're told that for the first month or so, tickets will be pretty scarce. But if you do want to visit, the Charles H. Wright Museum has put together an excursion for October. If you'd like more information about that, just contact the museum. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Steve. Looking forward to seeing that. Coming up first at 4, they are the shoes some people have been waiting 25 years to get their hands on. We're going to tell you what makes these shoes so special and when you can slip into a pair. If you've got kids, pay attention. Also, Eminem honors the Oscar-winning filmmaker responsible for bringing 8 Mile to the big screen. That story next. Eminem paying tribute to Oscar-winning filmmaker Curtis Hanson, the director behind 8 Mile. Hanson was found dead at his home in Hollywood yesterday afternoon. Eminem released a statement today saying Curtis Hanson believed in me and our crazy idea to make a rap battle movie set in Detroit. He basically made me into an actor for 8 Mile. I'm lucky I got to know him. Hanson also directed The River Wild, LA Confidential, and Wonder Boys. Hanson was 71 years old. Also trending today on social media, it is the Hollywood breakup that caught really everyone off guard. The news yesterday coming that Brad and Angelina are ending their marriage after 12 years together. Well, it surprised even Brad Pitt's close friend George Clooney, who was informed of the divorce when a reporter asked him for his reaction.
I didn't know that. Wow.
She filed.
Well, I feel very sorry then. And that's a sad story and unfortunate for a family. It's an unfortunate story about a family. I feel very sorry to hear that. That's the first I've heard of it.
Jolie is seeking physical custody of their 6 children and asking the court to grant Pitt visitation. Okay. Get ready for this, those self-lacing gym shoes. They're here. Once just a fantasy in the movie of Back to the Future 2, now a reality. CNBC tweeting the Hyper Adapt 1.0 shoes will be officially released November 28th. I see you checking them out, Ben. They're battery charged. You just have to adjust the laces by pressing a button. The shoe hits the market the day after Thanksgiving, so you can put them on your Christmas list. No word on the price, but insiders say they will not be cheap. It's not about lazy.
Is it?
No, I think I might like them. Okay. I have children that don't tie their shoes. Now the moms are going to be like, teach your kids how to tie your shoes.
Right.
Ahead first at 4, Mark Wahlberg's appearance on The Tonight Show takes a pretty strange turn. Up next, see Jimmy Fallon's giant surprise for the Transformer actor.
It's happening all over Metro Detroit, from the city to the suburbs. Fake utility workers getting into your home, ripping you off.
I had a feeling he just wanted to get in the house to do something.
The victims trusting, often elderly.
By all means, don't let anyone into your house that you don't know who they are, who they represent.
Now Help Me Hank going deep undercover. Think I look legit, or would you keep me out? You may be surprised to learn what we uncovered. Hidden cameras rolling.
Would you mind just taking a quick look at it? Is that something we can just take a quick look at?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
We could not believe what happened.
You never think it's going to happen to you.
Yeah. And boom, just like that, I could have come into your house.
Yeah. After you took off your hat, it's like, I know you.
Help Me Hank, the undercover investigation, tonight at 11.
Marco.
Mark Wahlberg on Jimmy last night.
Yeah, after the interview, the two went outside where Mark was surprised to find a giant slingshot and a pile of watermelons.
All right. You gotta work to get it back here.
Wow. By the way, Wahlberg beat Jimmy 45-23 with those muscles.
He should open a gym instead.
He should. Thanks so much for joining us for First at 4. Inside Edition's next.